Rabbit. Or no?
No.
Did we do a show?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Just feels like it's been a long time.
I
How we
feel
doing,
like with the
everybody?
summer routines, a lot of people it will be a rabbit, but
It will be rabbit for some,
preemptive.
for sure. Yeah. I almost forget how to do this. What do we do? How does this work? What do we
just smile? Sit there and smile.
Yeah.
Sit there and smile.
Bring the energy.
Get my chair right.
Bring the energy.
Bring some energy. All right. Is that good?
Great.
That's all I got today.
I was surprised to see our pal Retro in studio today. Always.
Hi, Rhett.
Jack had texted me last night, as he usually does before a show, and says, "Is Rhett in town?" And I always say, "That's a great question for Rhett."
Yeah,
because there's no way I know, and he might not even know where he is.
I did text Rhett, and I didn't get a response.
That's also very
bullshit.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm swearing already. I don't believe that for a second.
Don't you have to do a push-up?
Right.
What was the
Jack? Oh, I didn't respond.
Oh, jeez, that's a stunner. You didn't email him, right?
I responded to, "Hey, Rhett, are you in town?" I said, "We." That's French for yes.
But you spelled it W-E.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's like, well,
and then there's a typo. It just said "woo," and he thought it was Wu-Tang. Yeah, it was tough.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. So, when's the last time we did a show together? All three
of us.
Probably draft.
Maybe.
No, I was in Vegas for that week.
Yeah, you were away that week. But we did one after you got back, right? On the second, third, after free agency was done?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
because I was gone that one. The Thursday after that we did. Yeah.
Maybe. Either way.
The Thursday after free agency.
Either way, everybody watching and listening, you're welcome.
Thanks.
This is for you. This is why we do this.
That's why you pay the big bucks to watch the show.
It's for you people. How's everybody's summer going?
Fast.
Yeah.
Again. I'm the old man that yells, "I can't believe it's almost over. It's hardly started.
The days are getting shorter.
That's going to be done before it's over."
Yeah. Still July, but barely. And then it'll be August. And then we'll really be bitching and complaining about how fast it's going.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're moving now. Just wait till August.
So what have you accomplished, Warner? As we are now basically at the end of July.
Yeah.
What is the summer, whatever?
I spent a whole week in a rink in Amherst, New York, a.k.a. Buffalo. It was good.
Right.
North Town Center.
You couldn't delegate that responsibility?
It wasn't worth going to, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So rinks in July still cold?
Yeah.
Still bad coffee?
Do the
kids get better in the summer? Do they look better? Are they still the same kids?
No, they're all terrible.
Oh, they're worse. Jesus.
Yeah, they're terrible. Because guess what? It's the middle of the summer.
They'd rather be doing something else. Yeah.
It's the middle of the summer. None of them have played hockey, and it's.
Yeah, they'd rather do something else. Yeah.
I've half packed a house. Does that make sense? Is that how you guys do it? I may or may not be somewhere.
Is that like some sort of like American slang? We half packed. What is that?
Yeah,
a party. Yeah,
I know. I'm still half packed from going out of town because the suitcases come home and you kind of take shit out as you need it.
Yeah,
you realize how little you need, right?
You really do. Yeah, you really do.
I've got in my bedroom in Calgary. I also have a bedroom in Buffalo. I've got piles of things that have been in those piles for, well, I've been gone for 2 years. So 2 years plus.
You haven't missed anything in those piles?
I seem to be getting by.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just.
Can you liquidate these piles? Maybe
how do we do this? I don't know.
It's not a lot different here. We've been living in this house for years and years. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in the basement and no one ever really goes down there.
Yeah.
No one ever really goes. I'll maybe go down to grab a friggin' air fryer or something for snacks and then put it back. But you wonder if somebody just came in and took all that stuff away, would anyone notice? But yet we hang on to it.
I think I've said this before. The shoveler took the kids to see the in-laws one summer, and it was just shortly after we'd kind of moved into where we are now, and we had the big dumpster on the driveway.
Oh,
Not a small one.
Yeah.
The major.
the exercise.
And I took about 3 days and I filled it without her knowing.
yeah.
Still doesn't know.
Yeah. No, nothing.
Equalizer. Yeah.
Whole dumpster.
Yeah.
God.
Be fun. That might be a fun little
What a great weekend.
vacation for the family. Okay, everybody, guess what we're doing this long weekend?
Oh my God, kill me.
Where are we going? What are we doing? Well, there's a seat in the driveway. Yeah. We're gonna fill this sumbitch. That's what we're doing for the long weekend.
My garage is filled with all kinds of things that haven't been used for over a decade. We still have a twins stroller. If anyone's looking, they're going to U11 hockey this fall, but we still have the stroller in the garage.
Yeah. We're good at hanging on to stuff because somebody might need it.
Yeah.
We can't just, somebody might need it. Clothes, strollers, toys.
What if we have twins again?
Somebody might need it. Okay. Yeah.
Jack, do you have any twins? Do you need
I
a stroller?
think I've told this before when we renovated our house, and the knobs on the door apparently were going to be sold,
Right.
because you could sell them and make a few bucks. I found them.
Still not sold?
Can't just throw them away. They're
Oh.
perfectly fine. Yeah.
Jeez.
You need some Kijiji in your life. That's what you need.
What do you charge for that service, Dean? You want to do some teaching for him?
Well, here's the thing. I don't mind putting the stuff up, but then it's the responding, and then can you be there between 4 and 8?
I'll give you $10,
Probably.
sir. It's listed for 50.
So then you're sitting around your house waiting for some stranger to show up. They don't. Oh, was that today? Go fuck yourself. Throw that shit in the garbage. Throw it.
Please don't ever
Get a
set foot in my
dumpster.
property.
Toss
Yeah.
it.
So you both enjoyed some Saskatchewan time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was nice and hot.
It's as good as Saskatchewan can get. I had nice weather. The wind was good. But if it's nice and no wind and no rain, bugs.
It
And
was
it's
a very
hot.
buggy year.
The
Yeah.
bugs they were okay until they weren't. And I left there and I told the shoveler, because she wasn't there, I said, that's Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
And that's the high water mark.
I'll say this. We had great hot weather. I can't remember the lake ever being that warm. It was like a once a decade bad bugs for the week we had.
I've golfed that Waskasoo where I never made a putt. And not because I couldn't.
Just
Or didn't
halo
want to.
of bugs.
You could not stand still.
Yeah. It's the mosquitoes, it's the horseflies, it's the little hover in the same spot waspy things. They're everywhere.
They get right.
Horsefly nailed me right in my love handle, Dean.
No.
Oh, no.
Right in the love
It
handle.
has to swell up too.
It's a tough
Hard
spot.
to get to with my shoulder. It still has a bit of an itch.
Yeah, if it's on your right side when you put your seatbelt on.
Oh.
Oh, jeez, gosh. Every time you turn in your shirt
Yeah.
that's now too fucking tight.
Jeez.
Yay, shit. Yeah, yeah. And it's been hot as balls.
Yeah.
June was kind of the shits, but July has been awesome. It has been hot. And
Yeah,
I
we did
think,
have a shitty June, but can't really
think it's,
complain. From Stampede on, it's been pretty nails.
like hot as balls right now. I was looking, my kid is at a camp back in Manitoba. It's like 33, 34.
Really? That'll
Yeah.
be humid as shit too if he's
Yeah.
anywhere near the lakes.
Yeah. Well, it's good. Everybody's good. You golfing?
Recharged?
Is anyone golfing? Yeah.
Just had the fellas annual we're going to be idiots for 3 days golf tournament in Montana. Got back yesterday.
You must have a name for this event.
Yes, Boomer hates it, so I'm just going to refer to it
The
as
Teabag
idiots.
Invitational. What is it?
It's the close. Yeah, it's the Gentleman's Annual Golf, Poker, and Beer Invitational. Obviously,
Right.
It's the 23rd annual this summer.
What does that abbreviate? The G.
Gag Pappy. That's right. Yeah,
The Gag Pappy.
It's changed a little. There's every room now has like foam rollers and Theraguns and fucking painkillers and
A535.
Yeah, guys are doing stretching on the driving range, that hitting balls. Like, we're definitely all 40 now.
Yeah.
This used to be like, yeah, we'll just, people sleep with their cars. There'll be 20 guys in one room, whatever. And now it's like, no, we all need beds. And
Everyone's
we're all
got
old. And everyone call your wife now and make sure we check in with the kids, and then we'll get out there.
Yeah. Well, That's a segment that we used to do that we could certainly rekindle. Is the F I'm old?
Yes. Yeah. It'd be almost too easy.
Yeah,
Daily? 5 times a week?
yeah. I mean, we'd run out eventually and just have to start recycling it. But man, it's not great. The Theragun kind of hit home. I bought my kid because he was doing whatever, he was playing hockey. He said, "Oh, I could use it." Now, hey, have you still got that Theragun thing? That because I was putting some recycling outside and kind of twisted my back. I could really use that thing. Christ.
Some major physical labor.
Yeah, real tough stuff. Yeah. I was dumping cutting the lawn clippings. I was cutting the lawn, and man, did I ever overdo it?
Oof.
How's the backyard, Dean? You got a good setup?
Oh, it's the shits.
Really?
Well,
dog shit or what?
Nenshi won't let us water our lawns. Fucking Nenshi. So it's not great. Not great. And the thing was, kind of went in. I was going to do so I ripped up some of the dead grass because dogs piss and shit on it all winter long and it kills it. So I pulled a bunch of it up, and then don't water your lawns. So I'm not going to lay sod down just for it to friggin' die. So yeah, I got some nice black, just packed down dirt patches in my backyard. Just gonna leave it. Might just leave it.
Just like the clothes.
It'll be covered in snow in no time.
Like the shit piled in the basement.
Yeah. That will be the only thing. After a good rain or when it snows and then warms up, that'll turn into a nice little mud puddle. Be a nice big.
Bear is going to be just absolutely caked one day, and you're going to rue this decision.
He's such an idiot. So stupid. Show update as we go to the inbox, the viewer listener inbox. David says, "I miss Rhett's staff."
Yeah,
back.
What the
It's
hell?
back.
That was the last time we chatted with you. It was Stampede, and you had the
time.
incredible Fu Manchu.
It was a bit unruly, so I was told that maybe trim that up, and then I kind of messed it up and had to restart.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
It was an own personal.
A little higher. Let's go.
Yeah. What, you started doing your pubes and then just worked too far north? It's like, oh shit.
Oh, got a nipple. God damn it.
I was watching a YouTube thing, and next thing I know, I took half my mustache off. Well, you look good either way, bud. Always look good. Got your Origin t-shirt on.
I'd have to pop out there this weekend.
Makes 2 of us there, dude.
Well, it's might make 3 of us. I'll tell you what, it's the big, it's their birthday party. It's the one, and I'm not saying, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I think it's the one where out in Strathmore, they basically take the fire marshal and duct tape them and throw them in the trunk of a car.
That's right. Yeah.
Because they put up a tent out behind the tap room and brewery on Spruce Park Drive or whatever it is there.
Yeah.
And they get live bands. They put the tent up, and they obviously serve Origin till you fall down. And that is coming up on Friday. Last year went out there, and it was a banger for sure. Drew Gregory.
How late did you stay?
You know what? It wasn't too bad. There were some drunk sutters there. 3 or 4 of them.
They're all over the
I've seen that show.
Yeah. There's so
That's a
many
good
of
show.
them. Yeah, there's so many of them. So we had to get out while the getting was good. But no, it's a great time and it's open to anybody. And we've got some tickets to give away, actually.
Ooh.
This Friday, it is the whatever of August. There you see it. The 7th annual birthday party, Origin Malting and Brewing.
Look at that. Nice nails, Dean. You've really done a great job there.
Yeah.
I like that shade on you.
Yeah, just the tips. You got to be 18. It's an 18 or over event. You can get tickets at originbrewing.ca, or how about this? Go to your Instagram, because Origin is rolling on Instagram. Put out a little thing, tag Origin and tag us, and then tag who you'd be taking on Friday night. And we've got some pairs of tickets to give away to the big birthday party coming up in Friday. So do it on Instagram, on social media. We'll let you know if you won or lost. And we won't tell you if you lost. We'll just tell you if you won. And
that's right. We're going to ignore you if you lost.
They'll put you. They'll probably put your name on a nice little list at the door when you get in there. But no, it wasn't just they had Drew Gregory, but they had about 3 or 4 different bands that went up and did stuff with live music in the tent. Beers are flowing. They got the iced teas going out there, the hard iced teas.
It's iced tea season, Dean. I just want to make that clear to everyone.
And might be there firing out some barn burner blondes. Just might be there, because remember a year ago was just a A wet dream? No.
Just an idea.
An idea. And here we are, months later. There it is.
Ideas?
Still real. Still happening. Did you see somebody on Soch? They're
Yes.
in Winnipeg?
In Manitoba? Yeah.
In Manitoba. Went to a tap room, went to a watering hole.
Yeah.
Friggin' barn burner blonde on the taps. Well done, Manitoba.
Unbelievable.
Manitoba. I don't know what was happening, but well done.
I was sure that was you because you were back there a month ago.
Yeah, you would think.
I know.
We did have some
Future
barn
brand.
burners. Yeah, we did. I brought a case or 5 back to Manitoba for the fellas, and I did golf. I got 13 holes in, which are 14 somewhere around there.
Wow,
which is about my round.
New record.
Yeah, and you know the barn burner blondes were good.
Yes, it's a great golf cart beer. That's confirmed.
Yeah, the golf it's really not changing, is it? 18 is still too many.
Yeah,
especially in that heat, Dean.
Yep, especially in that heat. And then you're just
kind of like driving
cart.
around on a cart, but 4 hours is a lot.
Yeah. Then you're just happy to bullshit and talk to people you haven't seen in a long time and have some beers. Like the golf's in the way now.
Yeah.
But you've always got 1 or 2 hard-ons that need to play.
Oh,
right?
There's some guys that have really
major hardos.
Are you guys so you're not hitting anymore? Are you guys done? Yeah, we're done. Whoa.
I love how it affects their game.
Yeah, their game's totally off because now instead of having 9 guys on the tee box or whatever it was, sorry, there's 5 of you that are golfing. Now there's 4.
So you don't need to walk through the woods and look for another ball. I know you're really broken up about this. I'm sorry.
If the snips matter, I'll give you the $6
Here
or whatever that I'm going to owe you at the end of the round. I'll buy you lunch at the back at the whatever the thing's called. Anyway, but no, it was barn burner. Blondes, Origin Brewing this weekend.
Close.
Friday.
That's what it'll sound like Friday when you're trying to say it.
Origin Brewing.
Yeah. So they're doing the bowls and all that. This is a huge weekend in Strathmore because it's this is their birthday the same weekend as the big the rodeo.
Yeah, the big rodeo. I was there last year with a buddy of mine. Took some friends out. And as it turns out, Mark, big goofy Mark that works for Origin, he knows everybody in the province.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, I took 2 people. There was 3 couples. We went out there. You guys you've never been or whatever. We walked through the gates and Mark was like, "Hey, how you go? Oh, hey, Troy, how we doing? Oh, hey, how are you guys doing? Oh, big dumb galoot." But so Mark will be there, no question. If you want to meet him.
Galooting.
Yeah, he's the guy that markets the beer, and he's like the size of Shrek. That's their guy. If you
lots
need
of galooting out there. Yeah. What else they had? The chuck wagon driver. The guy is really, really good.
Well, there's like our old pal used to come on the show.
Yeah.
Because I saw Ray Corrado over Stampede. I haven't been able to tell that story.
Did you see Big Ray?
I did. Also saw we got into the Dorchester where they keep the horses, whatever that's called there. Yeah.
Anyway, it was a who's who last year, and I'm sure it'll be the same. So we'll see you there on Friday night. See you there Friday. I don't know if do I need to put on like a crop top if I'm working the beer tub? If I'm firing out the barn burner blondes, do I need to put on my thong? My Daisy Dukes?
Lives with you should go back there instead of you. But
maybe just have an overlayer, and then as it gets later and your confidence grows, it gets hotter in the tent.
Yeah. Speaking of grows, I'll have to borrow that manscaper of yours there. Get my bikini line.
Get things trimmed.
Do some hedge clipping for sure. So should we talk about
Flames and all the activity that?
Yeah. Is Conroy, is he still gone?
I text Conroy. He told me he was also in New York.
Yeah, I think he's at the summer retreat now.
Yeah. That would make sense.
Still have an offer sheet Broberg. I'm trying to figure that one out. Come on now, guys.
Well, and especially because they're now, what's this? The Leon deal is basically done. That's what the rumor mill
I don't like this at all, boys. This
is not how things
ruining
are
my
summer.
No one signs up for 8 more Edmonton winners. Come on now, Leon. Don't be an idiot. The cap's only going up. Extort them for 1 year at 15, then move along. Let's figure something out here.
Yeah, or maybe he likes it there.
No, it's Edmonton. Nobody likes it there.
Now, what was his? Now, I don't know. Where's he from in Germany? Is it German? Is he from a small town? Because if he's a small town German boy, then went to Prince Albert.
Yeah, did think of that when I drove through PA. I was like,
Then
maybe
went to
Leon is
Edmonton.
okay with that.
He's like, this is freaking great here. Why would I ever want to leave?
He did have that little spell in Kelowna after they sent him back after idiotically keeping him up after 10 games his rookie year.
He looked terrible at that point.
He didn't, and they were just ruining him. It was awesome. Sadly, he's recovered from that.
Yeah, he has.
But yeah, he did have a short
him.
spell in Kelowna where he would have seen a place that is quite wonderful in many ways.
Mhm.
And doesn't feel post-apocalyptic, but his choice, not ours, Dean.
No, I haven't seen anything official. It just seems like there's a lot of smoke. Right?
I believe Bob Stauffer on his daily show has indicated it'll likely be an 8-year deal, not if or when or should or what's going on. It's here's the term that they're looking at. And you're like, ooh, I don't like that report.
Yeah.
Because if he stays, then
yeah.
Probably have to offer shoot him now.
Well, we'll get into some hockey talk here. It's our opening statements for McLeod Law. Only just the best of summer wishes from guys like Shane and Peter and Austin and everybody at McLeod Law. I saw they were at the horse jumpy thing. What's the
equestrian?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Good word.
What do they call it? Because you knew this, Peter. There was the events. They have a certain.
They have a bunch. They have like the international and the this and that. They're all like big Rolex sponsored.
Yeah, there was another one.
Events.
It was whatever it was.
The
and
national.
they were there with their fancy hats on. All the ladies were dressed up with their fancy hats on. They had a nice little kind of a VIP area. Giving back to the community. That's what McLeod Law is all about, because you know what it is. They're proud of their Calgary roots. They're Calgarians, after all. When you contact McLeod Law, you're not being, bonjour, qu'est-ce qui se passe, McLeod Law? And that doesn't happen. It's Calgary.
Pour l'English, press
Yeah, pour la quattros. Big part of their long-standing client relationships. McLeod Law understands the city, the people in it, and the way things work, and they are dedicated to making Calgary a better place. Whatever your situation is, professional, personal, if you need legal assistance, contact McLeod Law. So that's the rumor innuendo. What we do know is the Oilers hired a GM. Now, did you guys talk about this? We as a group have not talked about it.
We have not done a show since the news broke. I was I was golfing that day with halos of mosquitoes around my every swing when the news broke that, if you don't have an orange jumpsuit, I don't know the Oilers are going to bring you in. That's kind of the way they've been going. It's like, why?
Stan Bowman was he and Joel Quenneville, and there were a few of them, I guess, that were July 1st. Gary Bettman said, hey, you guys can go find some work. If anybody wants you, you can go find some work.
No, real quick. Sorry. So Joel was cleared as well. That I don't believe I don't remember seeing that. Okay, that's a huge development. So he becomes like the biggest guy. Sorry, Dino. Back you go.
Yeah. So July 1, all of them got the green light, and then on the 24th, I think it was, the Oilers said, hey, Stan Bowman, you're our guy, and they were ready for it. They did their due diligence. Stan Bowman said he talked to people, the particulars, Mr. Beach, Mr. Kennedy. He talked to a lot of people, and he's ready to move on. The Oilers are ready to move on. But it's, I mean, you kind of tongue-in-cheek hit it there between, Evander Kane, he's this, he's that. Well, bring him in. Well, Corey Perry, he's been suspended. Well, bring him in. Now Stan Bowman. They don't really care. I don't know that I have a problem with it. To be honest, it's not as though these are hardened criminals. They're guys that made mistakes that are still employable, and the Oilers find themselves in a spot to employ them. So I don't know. I guess the bigger question I have is how much of Chicago's success, 3 Stanley Cups, 2010, 13, and 15, when Bowman was there, how much of that is tied to him? How much of that is because of the teams that were already installed? Seabrook, Kane, Taves, all those guys were there well before his tenure. But I don't know what he'll do.
Well, same scenario, isn't it?
It was Dale Talon that bungled those offer sheets or qualifying offers that eventually led to his ouster, and then Stan Bowman inherits all the pieces, but did a good job with those pieces until it was over, and then he definitely chased it way too hard, and there were some really silly things. I mean, we always talk about that Seabrook extension. It's paying a guy for what he did, not what he was going to be. That was bad before the ink was dry. I really didn't like the Connor Murphy for Chalmerson trade. You traded Prime Panarin for Sod straight up. There was a lot of like, that's not a good move, but the guy's got 3 rings. And the more you look at all these GMs in the league, a lot of them have a lot of swing and misses and a lot of like, yeah, that was a good trade. Like there isn't one GM where like, oh yeah, this guy just wins every deal. There isn't.
Yeah. And a lot of people were very happy with the work that Skinner comes in and whatever else the Oilers did there around July 1st, that what Jeff Jackson seemed to be the guy who was running at the controls anyway.
Yeah,
that
the
was
other
running.
Skinner. Sorry. You're Jeffrey. There you go.
Yeah.
2 Skinners now.
But I guess he was not interested in being a full-time GM. He's got other things to do. Like,
why would you do that when you could just hire a GM? And
why put your head on the chopping block?
Seriously.
Suppose so. Yeah. You probably still have major sway in whatever decisions are made.
For sure.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, he went and did all the July 1 work without a GM.
Yeah.
But there's enough work for a GM and a president for most organizations these days.
So I guess, I mean, for you, Retro, you hear Stan Bowman. What do you think of the hire for this team?
Yeah. I mean,
whatever.
I'm whatever. I'm not here to judge whether they shouldn't. I think that he's done a job in the league and that he's had success. So I can see why they'd be interested in.
It feels pretty Oilersy. Like they like going with the established GM. Like I think he's more in tune with the way to GM than Ken Holland was when they brought Ken in, but it's still not a great young up and coming GM. It's a guy that probably won't have his best years were the early Cup years there in Chicago when he was around.
Doesn't feel like he's out of date though, right?
No, but the last 4 years were most of his worst moves, is more to my point. And that's probably when you're chasing it with an aging core. Like if you're running the Penguins, it's like just keep punting first and trying to win with Sid. Like I understand it.
Happens a lot.
But yeah, you didn't go get like the next great young GM. They went with the established GM, and that feels quite Oilery, to be honest, with the way they've gone and hired for that position. But at the coaching position, they did the opposite. They went to a guy that never coached a game in the league.
But that being said, they're also in a position to win, and maybe a young GM isn't the way. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why it's weird, because the coach, you'd say the same thing. Like, geez, like this is a veteran group that's close to winning. Why are you going to a first-time coach? Don't you want a veteran guy? But look, it makes sense. It's a fit that like there's a lot of similarities with what he had in Chicago, what they've got in Edmonton. So it makes sense to me that he would be a strong candidate. Yeah, no surprise.
I guess the other thing is too, and not to get too hockey nerdy, but you talk about chasing it or where the Oilers are. They were 1 game away from winning a cup. Now, Rhett, you have been in this situation and there's probably not going to be a work stoppage between the Oilers going to Game 7 and now getting back on the ice. But they don't really have a choice, right? They have to assume that they're going to get back there. Sometimes teams do very well and think there's something, and then they're not. When they try and we're going to keep our foot on the gas and we're going for it because we were so close and we're right there. Next year, we're just going to pick up where we left off. They don't have the option of not being aggressive, right? They have to.
No,
it's the last year, Leon, like
potentially.
Until he signed, you have to be. Yeah. It's the last year, 8.5. Like you're gonna almost double.
You have the best player in the world on your team.
Yeah, like this is the last year.
You don't slow play it.
Bouchard's gonna make over $10 million. He has Arbrights next summer. Like this is your best financial shot at it.
Yeah. No, I agree. They have to go for broke. They have to
burn the boats.
I hope they're wrong. I mean,
this last year was supposedly cup or bust. That was their mantra in training camp.
Yeah.
When that coach was gassed a month in, but they get all the way. They're 1 away. They're the shortest odds to win the cup on all sports books, around 8-1. So yeah, like they're favorites to win the cup. It's obviously, we saw this year, we thought there were sort of 10 to 14 teams that could do it, but yeah, I don't think they're absolutely favorites for good reason.
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. Really needed Leon to leave. That was part of the whole House of Cards thing.
Yeah. I don't want to take away too much of what you're going to do in the Pinder Report, but I guess just some other hockey stuff that's happened here in the last little bit. A couple of certainly one big deal gets signed in Minnesota. Marty Necas of the Carolina Hurricanes. He was a guy that was, should the Flames go and get Marty Necas? Here's a young forward. He's got some this and he's got a highly talented guy. Well, he's not going anywhere, at least not yet. He was an RFA, a 2-year extension, $13 million, 6.5 is the AAV. Went 12th overall in 2017. Last year, 24 goals and 53 points in 77 games. Would love to know kind of what's happening there. Is it just they're a deep team and he's going to move up and down the lineup? What does Brindamore think of this guy? I don't know, but he's a very talented guy that they can't give up on. So they buy 2 more years, I guess, to find out what he's going to be.
Well, you can't trade him and get what you want. You retain the asset. It was never going to be a long-term deal. That's what they didn't agree on. The player wanted a long-term deal, but the player doesn't have leverage for that. The player has leverage for arbitration, which is a 1 or a 2 year deal. So we end up on a short-term deal that, feels pretty fair to both sides, and not unlike the final years of Jacob Trouba in Winnipeg, where you knew he wanted out. You just have to play it a little further down the line before you expect him to be moved and into a spot he wants to be, or they start putting him in a different spot in the lineup and he wants to stay there. And change. It's a 180 from where we ended up at the end of the season.
A team that expects to win.
Yeah.
So you're not just going to...
Don't hand him away for picks.
No.
You're in a contention window if you're Carolina.
Yeah. Is it easier to trade then if you were going to trade him now that...
I think that's considered a fair market deal, but
yeah.
I think if you were a team that really wanted him in trade, you would have to give up a lot of assets and then probably go long-term on him. You wouldn't want to give up a bunch of assets just to have him walk in 1 or 2 years. So I could see why it was a complicated deal to get done.
Brock Faber.
Rockstar.
It's been a good week for Brock. He's 21 years of age.
Is that it? Jeez.
21. Now he played 2 games, and this is what happens when kids get drafted, and then they want to get the clock ticking, as we say, get the clock running on their contract. So he played just 2 games near the end of the 22-23 season. So that's year 1 of his entry-level deal. Last year, 47 points in 82 games as a 20/21-year-old. Comes out of entry level. He's got 1 more year of it, I guess, is what it's going to come down to. Yep. 8 years, $68 million, 8.5 per.
How you like that, LA Kings? You wanted Kevin Fiala, and you got him. And we thought that was a really smart move. Man. What's Fiala at this point? And now Faber looks like a decade top pair defenseman in Minnesota.
Yeah. And, I'm kind of setting the table for $8.5 million. The guy's 21. I don't think it's a crazy spend. It probably won't be long before you look at that. And I don't know that they're ever going to be upside down on that deal. He's going to be a 50-point defenseman, like you say, top pair playing the whole thing.
If you had said someone's played 84 games in the league or whatever it might be for
it is, yeah.
Like, how much better could they get at 21 years of age, Rhett? Like, you always talk about defensemen really figuring everything out, like what, 25 to 27?
Yeah, usually that's what they
So
say.
you've literally purchased the entire prime. It should only get better for the next 3 to 5 years, and it could be better for all 8. And you've already used him in all situations. Power play, penalty kill, up to half hour a night. Like that is a massive coup for a Minnesota club that is almost done the punishment of the Suter Parise deals. They're going to have $15 million to go crazy with, not this coming, but like they're 1 year away from finally getting out from under those buyouts.
It still feels odd to me that these kids get paid this much, but you brought up Seabrook's name 2 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. This is better than that.
Oh, yeah, Seabrook's already
pay for
like
what you're going to get
right?
instead of what you had, right? Like that's the old days. It was, we'll overpay you at the end, even though you're not going to be as good. Nowadays, they're like, well, we're projecting, and it can blow up in your face, and he could be injured, whatever. But you'd rather pay the kid in his prime than post-prime.
And I look at the opposite, where, okay, just bridge him. Like, we'll get some cap savings now. Like, go look at Evan Bouchard. Bridging him is going to cost the Oilers like 20, 30 million more, maybe 40 million more. Like that, those numbers sound ludicrous. You could have locked him up for 8 years at like 4, 5, 6 last summer.
But did Bouchard have? Were you as convicted on Bouchard as maybe you would be on Faber?
Yes, on Faber, but Bouchard's actually way better than Faber offensively. That's what we didn't see. Like, I thought he would be around that 8.5, but now it's like you're not going to be able to get this guy under 10 to 11. He's putting up freaking Eric Carlson numbers.
Yeah.
But if they Arbrights this summer,
right people.
He's running
but if they
power play.
So I was going to say, if they bridge Faber, then they'd be in the same spot. They just
right, and that's
like at 21. At 21 years of age, you weren't giving Bouchard $8.5 million a year.
No, I think it would be less, to be fair.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Is
right, and that's why I'm sort of saying, okay, look, one model says, oh, you might be overpaying a little at the beginning, but he's super young and only going to get better. And the other's like, yeah, but we can get some cap savings for a couple of years. We'll just kick it down the road. Kicking it down the road is going to cost the Oilers $40 million.
Yeah,
like he's 10 plus a year, no sweat. If he's like, he was a 1.5 per game defenseman in the playoffs after an 80-point season.
And as far
has
as
our
Faber,
rights.
the Wild put a thing on their social media today. It's the video of him signing the contract in Bill Guerin's office, and Bill says to him, "Now what did I tell you yesterday? What did I tell you? Don't worry about the money. Don't change a thing. Just play. Nothing changes." And he kind of Guerin doubles back. He's like, a lot of times guys sign contracts and then think there's something they're not, and they got to change who they are and change their game, and it never works. Just play. 21 again last year in his first season, average, and it would have gone up as the year went on. 24 minutes 58 seconds a night.
How does he not get way better? Like, he's already very good, tough
Doesn't need to
competition,
get way
huge
better.
minutes. He just is. He
Yeah,
just is.
50 point player, 25 a night. Pretty nice player.
Yeah, you said it. There's no way they're not. This isn't a huge win for the Wild over the next 8 years. The cap's going to be $100 million, and it's like, yeah, this is a song.
Not to go on and on about Brock Faber, but on the flip side, credit to the kid for taking the deal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you try it. Well, no, maybe let's do a 2-year deal. So maybe in a year or two, I'm going to be a 60-point D-man, and then I'll be worth 9 or 9.5 or 10. Is there any
Total dollars? That's a big number.
I mean, it's $68 million.
Like, you were literally taking like biochemistry class 16 months ago. It's at the University of Minnesota or something like.
Yeah.
You take that 60+ million.
Travis Konechny signed, I guess it was late last week.
That's right.
Somewhere in there, 8 years, $70 million. That's 8.75 per season for a guy who feels like a flyer.
He is. That's the kind of guy they want. Sean Couturier's got a lot of time left. That's the one I want to get rid of.
Yeah. I didn't realize Konechny had 33 goals last year.
Big year.
Yeah, career high, 33.
A couple years ago, it was a tough year. It was just like, oh, what happened there? But he back.
Mishkov coming in this year.
You see him throw the first pitch for the Phillies yesterday?
I heard he did it or read that he did it. I didn't see it.
You could tell he didn't grow up throwing a baseball, but it was it was in there. So give him credit for that.
Good job.
He's gonna be such a star, man. Like,
it's exciting. I'm very intrigued to watch him. You hear all the hype and all the talk about him. Well, let's see what
and they got him at what, 6 or 7 last year in the draft when we were in Nashville, Montreal, right there. They go Reinbacher. That looks so absolutely insane.
And what did the Coyotes do too? They took the
that
other Russian.
Was it Daniel Boot or the Shimashev, the huge defenseman?
Shimashev,
yeah. They both those teams. I don't think you're going to like that decision.
Yeah. Patrick Laine cleared by doctors to return out of the player assistance program, recovering from shoulder surgery. It's believed he's going to be traded, but could not. He and his agent they couldn't talk to teams about anything while he was still in the assistance program. Now they are free to do that. So,
I mean, it's a nice idea to do the trade, but this is a really tough deal to make. He's got 2 years left with a ton of dough. He's done very little. There's lots of concerns around what he will be as a player moving forward.
On and off the ice, yeah.
Sure. Coming out of this player assistance program, it's good to see him out of there, but that doesn't, teams aren't like, whew, no off ice issues here. Like, no, you're worried about, okay, like, how is he? Yep. Where is he at mentally?
Just had surgery. Like, there's
I obviously understand that he'd understand or would like a change of scenery. I just think that contract is going to be very difficult to move. And if you're Columbus, kind of feels like a sell low moment on him.
Well, that's the problem for them.
So what are they going to
Even if you want to get out from under him and he wants to go, who's paying you anything? Like, and are you happy just to get rid of him? Like, you're totally sell low. It's a Monahan thing.
Totally. When the Flames paid Montreal a first rounder to get rid of 1 year Sean Monahan, that was the lowest his value ever was. It feels similarly for
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Are there teams out there that are going to give you something to?
There's no one has the cap space for this guy. So now you're asking Columbus to eat money, and now it's like, oh boy, this deal sucks. Like, why don't we just
keep him and
try to get him hot, and at the deadline maybe everything changes.
What if you're a team that has lots of cap space and you're,
But again, aren't you going to want? It's
But,
like,
if you can get him for pennies on the dollar,
Yeah,
you're not so much worried about eating salary. On the other hand, you can bring him in and then put him in every situation.
If it's pennies on the dollars, I'm with you, Dean. I just don't think that's the deal that makes sense for Columbus. What do they have? Why do they have to get this done now?
what do they have?
If you could theoretically build them up to, 50-cent pieces on the dollar for the deadline,
Yeah.
or 75 cents on the dollar.
Because remember, you've got a new GM and a new coach there. Dean Evison hired, right?
Yep.
He's the new head coach there. Unless you just want a clean slate for your new coach, you're the new GM. This guy doesn't want to be here. There are injury issues.
But I guess
What are we going to, best case, what are we going, like you say, what are we going to get for this guy? Maybe you just want to turn the page.
why doesn't he want to be there? Was it because of the coaching? And like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Coach is gone.
Yeah.
now you got a new coach. Maybe Evanson's been talking with him. Like, no, you're going to play the piss out of you. You're going to be in a good spot. It should, like, anyway, this is, if you were the Flames and you wanted to take them, I guess great.
If it's
but
pennies, I'm not gonna give up any significant assets from at this point.
I'm just throwing it out there.
No, I'm with you. I just think, like, if you're a GM, you might want to turn the page on Patrick Laine, but your job is to make the Columbus Blue Jackets better. And you're probably going to have a more valuable asset at the deadline this year if you believe in the coach and the player.
for sure. You're going to
So
Laine
it's-
and his agent right now going, you want out? First 20 games, get me 20 goals. I'll
Totally.
move you tomorrow.
We'd love to get this deal done. Here's your part of it. Here's your end of the bargain. Go play inspired hockey, love the sport
Shoot
again,
the puck.
smile at the rink, rip the puck, and you'll be out of here by the deadline.
Laine turned 19 in his second NHL season,
40?
had 80 goals after 2 seasons.
Yeah. And so that's where I don't think a GM can let that guy go for pennies on the dollars. You have to go find a way to show at least some of that.
Yeah.
Even if you want Kadri?
Do they want Kadri? They just drafted another center. No, I don't think they want Kadri.
The other thing with Laine, and we'll move on, is he has not played, because the first year he played 73, then 82, 82, and since then, since the 1920 season, has not come close to playing a full year. 68 games, 45, 56, 55, and then just 18 this past year between injuries and off ice.
Makes almost 9 a year. 8.7 this year and next year.
Yeah.
So it's a tough deal to get done, but yeah, I think
So here's the example of where the contract doesn't go well, right? We talk about Faber and,
yeah.
well,
I'm trying to remember if that. I don't think that's a second deal, but yeah, this is. It's funny. We talked about it. We're like, this guy's going to score 70 goals.
he's just going to shoot the
goals.
puck.
This guy's going to.
He was Ovechkin. He was just going to set up on that one-timer and rip shots and score.
And like, I don't think he's forgotten how to shoot the puck. So
No, there's lots going on.
what is, like, to get to the root of what's happened here would be quite
I
a
want out of
task.
Winnipeg. Okay, you're out of Winnipeg.
Yeah. Columbus, really? I want
We
to
went to the Winnipeg of Ohio.
People are saying that the audio is no good. Does anybody hear anything? I heard a click maybe about 4 or 5 minutes ago, and your feed to me went down.
Check.
But
Check. It's more on the streaming side. You wouldn't be
Is
able to
it?
hear it here. We can
All
do a
right.
quick reset. Break.
Do you want to
I'm
do
back.
that?
Yep.
All right, 30 seconds. We'll
20.
break and come back.
Dean, we've gone way too long without any snake content. So
Thank Christ. That's
come
coming
back.
up. All right.
Like you got it tackled? Okay.
Saw our buddy Robert Munich on
Oh, Bobby Germany.
probably X, Twitter, whatever it is. I think it was on there. He had the calculation regarding the Flames goaltending for this year. That Dustin Wolf, Dan Vladar, and Devin Cooley have a combined 99 NHL games experience.
99.
Yeah. It's not a lot.
We got a plan. Connie's got a plan. Leave it alone. Stop
I mean,
criticizing.
that sounds great to me. I don't want that first round pick going to Montreal.
Nope.
This will be really
Superstar
bad.
center.
Yeah. That's what we're in for, right? Just so we're all prepared for it.
We're looking for a Michkov.
Can kind of take the August into September and kind of get ourselves ready for a full season of on the Flames. 4-2 loss, 5-1 fall at the hands.
Well,
of
they
the,
played hard. 3-1.
Yeah, and I think that's the important part to remember is that after a 2-7-1 start where they looked just absolutely awful to start last season, they actually didn't have many nights where they didn't work their tails off, and you weren't like, yeah, you know what? This isn't a group that's quit. Even when after the trade deadline, when it was you shipped out arguably your best pair in Tanev and Hannafin, it was
You
like
could have dropped a few more. That would have
the
been
vets still played. You still had Kadri going end to end. You still had, you had better play in the second half from Huberdeau than you did in the first half by a considerable margin. You had Blake Coleman hit a career high in 30 goals. You had, it was a fun team to watch as long as you understood that they were probably a bottom 5 team that finished 9th from the bottom because they got great goaltending for 2/3 of the year, and they had some young guys come up and impress. You saw the emergence of Pospisil and Zeri. Miramanov's an NHL defenseman. He wasn't in Vegas. There's some intriguing storylines, but at this point, you're kind of just bridging to wait for all these good young prospects to flood the NHL roster.
Are there other teams in this situation that I don't know? And maybe are the Flames? Would they be the oldest team trying to retool? And am I overestimating their age?
You might be now because there's not like you got Kadri and Backlund are graybeards, but there's not a lot.
Coleman,
Uyghur, but they're probably just 30, 31. Like maybe a little.
no,
older.
you kind of made mention to it there, Rhett, and I know you were kind of having some fun with it, but there has been talk of a Kadri. Nazem Kadri, is he movable? Can he be traded? This sort of thing. I need to be convinced what the deal. How does this work? How can the principals involved make a deal work? But is this just media in the summer looking for shit to talk about, or do you think that there's some way that a deal is available somewhere?
To be fair, we talked about it since the trade deadline from his first year here. It's not just summer. Like there's not a lot of precedent for it. I don't recall guys his age with a half decade left on a deal ever moving unless it was a salary dump. And if that's the case, why are the Flames bribing somebody else?
that's the question. Is it?
There's no comparable
it's the
for
Laine
it's hard.
scenario where it's like, why would we trade him if we're not like? I guess you get salary space, but you don't need that. That's not a major thing. I'm sure Kadri would like to feel like he's going into a dressing room that has a chance to win and be playing for cups, not trying to I'm a leader. Let's go work, guys. You got to be professional about this, right? That I would bet that Kadri would like a change of scenery. I just don't know what
it's hard to
facilitates it.
The money's not bad. He's worth it.
He's played hard.
He's better than a lot of team second line centers. Like you could go put him on the Rangers roster, and he's better than Vinny Trocheck, I'd say. But the problem is you're committed for a half decade, and there is an incredibly small list of players that can retain. Never mind get better,
But does it give you any like a Pavelski? I mean, there's a lot of guys that you're right. It's a small list, but it does happen.
You're betting. It's a low probability bet. It happens,
and I think
like
that
you can get dealt 2-7 against a king and still win your blackjack hand. It's against the odds, but it's not a good bet. And so which team is going to be so desperate for a second line center in the short term that they're willing to deal with a half decade of Kadri when he turns 34 or 5 this October?
Yeah.
If
there's a team though that I don't even know who it would be, but if you think you've got your chance to win, it's a nice piece. If this is your window to win and you can make it happen and he's available, and I don't know who else would be in the same scenario. There might be other pieces that you covet more, but I'm just saying he has one. If you think you're on the cusp and he's the piece you need, he would be appealing. I don't think he's an immovable object.
The point you make is
no
a good
precedent for it. That's the.
I mean, that's and maybe that I think it is valid.
We'll take him, and you get a third round pick. Like you might not be getting anything in return. It might be, here's a favor to Nazem Kadri.
Yeah, and you can do that in a year or two.
And the thing of it is too, but in a year or two, maybe there's a GM out there that knows he's on the hot seat, knows he needs to win right now. Paying Nazem Kadri for 5 years, who gives a shit? But we're not going to be here in 5 years. That sort of a thing. Because there isn't precedent, I don't think means that there's no chance of a deal. But I do find that's why I bring it up, and I struggle to see
75 points, 29 goals. He had a great year.
Yeah. That's the one thing. Could he help teams? Could he help teams that feel like they're close? You're damn right.
Yeah.
Because he brings a lot to the table. He's a shit disturber. He was really good for Colorado in their playoff run. That's the other thing he's got too, right? Is prior to that, it was just, well, this guy's a hothead. He'll hurt you in the playoffs because he gets suspended and hurt your team. Well, he proved that there was more to his game in Colorado on that run.
Like Colorado's a perfect example. He would be an upgrade on Casey Middlestad short term, and he would make them a better team, and you could put yourself back into that. We can go be a contender this year. But I just show me how the money works. Like
because Rhett, you had said it. Unless you're a team that's Nazem, we love you. We want to, because he's got a no move, right? He probably have to win. How's your back? Because to us, it looks like maybe you've got a couple years before that back's really going to give you some issues. Like LTIR is an option, and we're not saying, we're just kind of saying that maybe if you need to take 3 years, 2 years, 3 years off at the end of this deal to rest that back, we'd be okay with that.
He's got a 13-team no trade for years 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
He just finished year 2. So you should be able to move him freely. But again, trying to come up with a team where it fits and it makes sense is very difficult.
I don't get that. Like
there's 31 other teams. There's 31 other teams. Tell me a team where they're like, this makes sense for us. We should do it. Because the player makes sense. The contract doesn't. That's the problem.
Yeah, but can the Flames not chew some of it?
You don't want to eat salary for 5 years. You have 3 retention slots, and if you clog one up for each of the next 5 years, that's not good.
So this is the problem I've always had with all this, is that Kadri, what a great effing signing this was, and now he's an immovable object, even though, in my opinion, has exceeded what anyone would have ever thought when he signed that contract. I'm confused by it all. I didn't like the signing to start with. I didn't like the moves they were making. They sign him. He's exceeded what you would have expected, and now I don't get it.
And that's why you don't see 31-year-olds getting 7-year deals in free agency very often.
But you said at the time that's a good signing.
I know. Look, that deal was never going to be one that gave you value over 7 years. It was one that if you were going to push chips for 2 years, 3 years, that made sense. But if Huberdeau's not a star, this isn't a playoff team. And the 2 to 3 year window to go win that Brad Treliving was trying to save didn't exist.
Top 10 pick in that window.
Yeah, no, and it's what it was is, I think the old GM got emotional about how it ended with Gaudreau, which was the first domino that led to Tkachuk, which then was like, this city needs to punch back, which then means I didn't mind the deal. You got the guy that finished second in league scoring, a top pairing defenseman, and a first rounder for Matthew Tkachuk. Thank you, Matthew, for giving us your true intentions and allowing us to get some value back, a lot of value. The Mackenzie Weegar extension is one of the best value deals they have on the whole roster. He's not a problem at this point. He had a career year and does not look like he's in decline as a hockey player. The first rounder was 3 years down the road. You don't know where that team's going to pick, but first rounders are great capital to add other assets, or if you're not good, to use to pick players. The challenge was that you gave a player a contract you'd never even seen that structure before. Brad Treliving's almost never given out a contract with much signing bonus money. Never mind the buyout-proof nature of Jonathan Huberdeau's deal. And he gave it to him before he played a single game in the Silks. That worked for Mackenzie Weegar. It didn't for Huberdeau. But once you've made that deal, you're saying we're still a cup contender. The Flames are people's picks to come out of the West that fall. People, I think Seravalli had them winning the West. People had him beating Edmonton in the division. None of it happened because Huberdeau was not a star, and Markstrom had a shitty year, and Sutter in the room fell apart. It was a disastrous season. But if you are thinking we can win after that Tkachuk trade, you can justify the Kadri deal in the short term. What no one saw coming was them being so bad they couldn't even make the playoffs in year one.
And the kick in the stones there too, because if you're Treliving, it's one thing. So you think you've made a deal, you've got Huberdeau. You're not the only one, but maybe they're better. Could they be better this year than they were last year?
Mix.
Well, hard to say. And now Nazem Kadri, a player who you think is a very good player, can no doubt help you, will come to your team, which not every free agent, will do that. So now you've got a guy that says, yeah, I'll come. And yeah, it's a lot of money. You can probably swallow that, but you have to move a first rounder to move Sean Monahan. That was the other kick in the nuts with that whole thing.
All of it. There's a couple years of mismanagement.
It's just chasing it, right? It's a 40% bet, another 40%, another 40% bet, and none of them win. And now you've got no stack left. It was like none of these were like horribly awful deals on a standalone, but none of them worked because each of them they weren't good bets. They were okay bets, and none of them panned out.
Yeah.
But
I saw that.
Okay, sorry. It did pan out. Kadri is the one. Well, Weegar's been good, but Kadri's contract and what he's contributed. Now, that being said, I ripped him a year and a half ago or whatever it was.
Yes.
For some of his play, and I think he quit on the team at that point. But that was after going to the All-Star game.
26 goals.
And then last year, he had a hell of a season again. Like, I still don't understand. I'm like, well, and I see what you're saying about 5 years, but I'm not saying eat half.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're talking about $1.5 million, are the Flames really going to be that up against it if they eat
that's
$2
fine.
million of Kadri's deal? And at 5.5, if you're getting 60 to 70 points for a year or two, like, there has to be other teams that are going, well, this is whatever. This is our window. I don't know if it's, my opinion would be it's not as hard as what Pinder thinks it would be. But
yeah, and I'm not saying it's impossible. Like if he's on another 30-goal pace at the deadline, and you're like, we'll eat $1.5 million. What I just keep coming back to how complicated it is, because it's like if Sean Monahan's last year of his deal cost you a first, what is 5 years of 1.5? Because that's actually more money. Like, are you going to need a first just to eat salary on it? Because then teams are like, no, I can't do that. Like, there's just so many different layers to.
That's the question,
deal.
I guess, that I'm not looking at is what are you getting in return? So what's your upside to do it?
Yeah.
Like if someone wants to bribe you to
he
eat
might
money,
be
sure.
a valuable enough asset for another team to covet. But as a Flames, you're going, well, what am I eating $1.5 million for? A third?
Yeah,
A
no,
four-
we
like,
have cap
no.
space. We're not in a window to win. There's no
Yeah.
pressure. And unless he is demanding a trade or has made himself just a complete, I don't like using the word cancer, but you just can't have him around anymore with younger players. If he's that much of a malcontent, which I don't know that he would be, I don't know, to your point, what kind of a deal is so appetizing that's going to make you eat salary for 5 years and da-da-da-da-da.
If anything, he only gets more appetizing as years roll off the deal if he continues to play well. And the other thing is, if you can't pick at all characterize him as someone that was a malcontent. He came to life when the kids came up.
He
They
was a
put him
big
with
part of the
Pospisil
team.
and Zari, and it was like that literally turned the season around for the whole team. Never mind
I
just
still think
Nas.
they were fighting a playoff spot. It was a
Yeah,
difference.
they were a point out in February.
Yeah.
Like, who are we kidding?
I think
that
that you
was
go
huge.
18 months out and they've been losing for a while. I think that's when I'd like to know what your attitude's like.
There's one other wrinkle, and I don't necessarily know how much I care about it, but I think the team does. They have 2 NHL centers on this roster and in the organization, period.
Yeah.
Stop. It's Michael Backlund and Nazem Kadri.
It's a good point.
Like Kevin Rooney's probably the 5th or 6th center in most organizations. I don't know that Zari's a center. I don't know that Sharon Govich is a center. They literally have 2 NHL centermen. It is such a dire organizational need. And maybe you're like, hey, it's not going to be a deal where we're getting much anyway. We don't need the space to do something else until we've got internal solutions down the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
Let them cook.
Yeah, you had better want to see somebody else take that spot and find out what they have.
Yeah.
And I don't even think they're at
No,
that
it's
point.
the guy they're going to draft next summer if they get in the top 5, if we're being honest. They don't have a top 6 center in the system.
Good talk, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
That's some hardcore hockey talk in the middle of summer. We still
We're
got
nerds.
it. Still got it. And my brain finally caught up. Kurt Bensmiller,
Kurt. There's a lot of Benz Millers, to be
the
fair.
chuck wagon driver that was at Origin Brewing
Okay.
birthday last year. I know you guys probably were gonna not rest easy. It's like, God, I wonder who Booms was talking about. Who would that have been?
Yeah, I'd have been up tonight.
Motto Willow? Who would he been talking about? That's your opening statements for McLeod Law. Peter Klein, what a guy. What do you think Peter Klein does on his summer vacations?
I hope more vacationing than the Arizona trip. He was working on a file there. I was like, this poor bastard's on a vacation with us, and he's jumping on calls, taking care of people.
You think he's got one of those big fancy yachts, those big boats where they got butlers and...
Oh, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
At
Got
a
it on-
minimum, maybe just, a nice getaway spot.
Maybe out of the Schwaps.
16-foot Lund.
Yeah. Sitting in his
Aluminum.
garage, taking up parking space. On social media, at McLeod Law LLP. Outdoor Dental. Hey, summer, maybe you got a little more time in your hands. Then this is, if you've been, well, I would go to Outdoor Dental because the guys, the guy, fat guy, has been talking about the Soleil laser for months and months and how you can use it, and it's gonna fix your snoring and help you get better rest and better sleep, and then you're more productive and you feel better. Well, maybe summertime's the time to do it. Outdoor.dental is the website. Yes, it's the Soleil laser. Pinder's done it. He's got a big mouth, and it got in there and did all kinds of work. Soft palate. The Soleil laser goes in there, and is that the noise it makes?
It's actually silent, but I was making those noises in my head because I thought it'd sound
Yeah.
cooler.
Yeah, makes it feel like it's
That
really
sounds
getting
actually
in
pretty good. You just watch TV, you're looking up at the ceiling there. It's beautiful.
15-minute treatments. You need 2 of them to increase the tension in the soft palate, because it's that darn soft palate. That's kind of what's causing the issues with your snoring. You start laying down, things get all flabby back there. Nothing worse than a flabby soft palate. Nothing worse. 1 to 2 minutes, you're relaxed, you're comfortable, it's pain-free. And yes, with better rest, with better sleep, you're more productive, you're a better person. Not sure that worked for Pinder, but for most people, if you get more rest,
My
and you
wife's
just
a better
feel better.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
She's getting better sleep. I'm still a scoundrel.
but snoring's a big thing. I still remember the first meeting that we had with Dr. Jason. Do you think the guys that listen or watch, do you think there's guys, would they be snorers? Got a feeling. Yeah. Got
Those
a
are
feeling
boys.
that our buddies are probably, there'd be a few of them out there. Contact Outdoor Dental. Go in for find out more details, an assessment, that sort of thing. And then, 2 15-minute treatments. And that snoring could be a thing of the past with Outdoor Dental. You ever been on a cruise?
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah, I was just some, some drunk hose from Tampa. We're throwing chairs at Midnight Pizza.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, because you took a gal on a
friend,
cruise.
yeah.
Oh, you got stuck.
A rocky relationship.
Were you
Rocky
guys
Seas.
sharing a cabin?
Couple nights
Yeah,
Yeah,
technically.
yeah,
for some 10 to 15 minute windows.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. When you're on the boat, you're kind of on the boat. Well, sorry, didn't go better. But we took our we were on a cruise first time. Took a little while to get it your head wrapped around it. You know, it's like so. What do we do? How do we are we getting off? Do we get off the boat? Are we staying on the boat? It was hot as balls, and when you're on an all inclusive, well, we got to go get in the water. Well, you're at sea, so you're not going on. They're not going to the beach, and there's only so many pools on a boat, right? And they were small in size. It was basically just a bunch of dudes sitting in a bathtub.
Body soup.
Soup.
Lots of wiener water soup, and so then figure out. But I think I passed.
You're a
I think
cruiser?
I'm a cruiser.
You weren't sure for a while,
I wasn't sure.
but looking back, you'd book it again.
Yeah. Big D says here, you can always sleep by the pool. Well, unless it's 45 degrees. Because
Dudes are blasting Skrillex doing backflips off the side of the pool.
Yeah, and there's kids everywhere. But would you like a little insider tip? No, I don't want to say anything. I'm not going to say what cruise line it was or anything. But they do not want you bringing your own liquor onto the boat.
Correct.
Because
They like to
boats,
sell it to you for $1 million.
they need to sell it to you, and they want to know how much. You can't have unruly people getting all silly on a boat. So you can't, no beer, no hard liquor. You got to buy that on the boat. You can bring a 12-pack of pop or soda. You can bring 10 or 12 bottled water, or per cabin or per person who is of drinking age, 21 plus, you can bring a bottle of wine. Because where's the harm in that? You can have a nice little, maybe a glass of wine before dinner or whatever. Or what you could do. I'm not saying that we did this.
No.
But I'm saying this can be done. If you take a wine bottle that is empty and fill that subbitch with vodka, and then put the cork in it, if you know somebody that kind of does their own wine,
Yeah.
and you put one of those plastic sleeves over the top and use your heat gun to melt her on there, make it all look
Holy
legit.
smokes.
Hello.
Why not just buy the...
All of a sudden, you got 3-4 bottles of
hard alcohol?
of Tito's just ripping
Next thing you know,
every
you're
day.
charging $10 for a single Tito and water.
It was
you're making
$10
money on the trip.
$10 US for a Shirley Temple for the kid.
They don't have alcohol. Why would? So something with alcohol would be.
That's what I'm saying. So you're paying 10 US for a pop.
And syrup.
Yeah.
Syrup's very rare on this boat.
So I'm just saying,
In demand.
If you're a cruiser,
Thought it was all inclusive.
No, they never include the booze.
no,
Shirley Temple's not boo.
That is true as well.
not pop.
It's not a pop.
So yeah, with the
It's an
thing,
ordered
booze not included, soda not included. You could have lemonade, water, and regular
Well, that
coffee.
works for my youngest. Hates pop.
Yeah.
Lemonade, iced tea.
And then I'm trying to remember, like the big deal was buy one, get, it was 160 a day US to have the all-inclusive booze.
Oh.
Hard to wrap your head around. You got to be, okay,
You
babe,
make
get
that
up.
work. You're not going to feel good though.
It's 7 a.m. If we're getting our money's worth, we're getting drunk 3 times today.
Yeah, and then they're going to.
So let's get at it.
Hey, red wristband, you're cut off for an hour. Like, come
Yes.
on, I already bought the booze. Just put it in my cup.
Yeah. So anyway, just a little fun fact, little tip.
Boomers Cruisers.
That's right. Yeah, something like that. The Pinder Report. Now, we've had a nice little break here, right? We haven't been doing shows every day.
A reset.
It could have, that's what I was just going to say, Rhett. Turning of the page, a reset, can start things anew, the way things that were, Is that any part of your
Turn the page.
mindset?
Or even back
Ryan?
to the original version.
I have, to start the Pinder Report, I'll let you do your thing first. Something that we've been waiting for. It's a turning of the page. It is a clean slate of sorts, and it is really, from this point forth, new beginnings. So maybe that's what you're talking about.
All right. Well, let's see how it is. The Pinder Report is still a presentation of Village Honda. They want you to save the date, coming up August 24th, less than a month from now. The 4th annual Honda and Acura Show and Shine. It gets bigger and better every year. They've got awards for Best in Show, Best in Modified, Best Classic, and new for this year, the People's Choice Award. More details and how you can register, find it online at villagehonda.com. And Village Honda presents the Pinder Report.
Boys, it's time to turn the page on that crappy old fun dump with all the good memories down at 555 Saddle Dome Rise. There is Scotia Place, the soon-to-be home of the Calgary Flames, if fall 2027 is soon in your calendar.
Now, do we believe that part on the top there? Where, like, is that digital boards? Is that always is
I think
that
they're going to be
changing?
shooting lights up there, so
It's like the
kind of
sphere, Dean. It's like the sphere.
Yeah, like, is it like the sphere or
pretty high expectation? I would not sphere. I don't want people to be disappointed here. I think what it's going to mimic and look like, Dean, is flames rising from the roof of the building.
Okay, so is it just the lights at the bottom are doing stuff, or is that whole thing a video board?
That's what I don't know the answer. And to be honest, a lot of people have been asking me about the new rink and the outside of it. When could you tell me about the outside of the rink in Boston, Dean? I mean, it's just
shits.
like the inside is what matters,
Way up
friends.
high, it's a 20-degree grade because the elephants won't walk up.
Yeah, but if
anything
I mean,
higher.
let's be honest, if the thing looks like, I mean, look, the one in Edmonton, it looked like a toilet seat. If it looks like a toilet seat, then let's throw that. We still got time to make some changes here, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Like if that looks like,
know.
is
It doesn't
does
look like a toilet seat. I'll give it that.
All right.
It looks pretty nice. I mean, again, the inside is what matters. That's what the players whine about, and where they can charge 50% more for the same beer. That kind of just looks like the Saddle Dome with things newer. That doesn't at all. That's a very nice entry point. But anyway, enough. This is
it's not a video board.
The snowbanks. That's definitely what it looks like most of the season. That's fair. No one in tank tops. This has gone starts and stops, and great news and bad news. And Francis was betting his mortgage they're going to be in Houston in 5 years. This has been an absolute war since 2004 when Ken King first mentioned a new facility. 20 years later, we have broken ground. There are things digging. If you've got a 4-year-old that likes construction equipment, just north of the Saddle Dome in Victoria Park's the place to be for the next 2.5 years.
Can't help yourself, eh? Just have to.
It was one of the worst takes of all time.
There's Ryan Pike. The video board is above the entrance, so that where it says Scotia Place.
Yeah.
I guess is like our own personal disinformation.
Yeah,
well, Pike is he's our liaison to the truth.
He's our fact checker.
Yeah.
You know what? At the end of what's the one with Wilbon and Kornheiser? It's the end of the show.
Interruption.
Part of the interruption. They're always like, "What did we miss? What did we screw up?" And then some guy's like, "Oh yeah, you called this guy by the wrong name, and that guy wasn't the GM then, and it was the wrong city. You said Rome, but it was that game was in Paris." I think he does that for us. He's a fact checker.
Smart.
Than us.
He's a smart.
And
He's the smart guy. We just blabber.
We're the idiots.
Yeah.
And be available on Thursday, Pike, in case my internet crashes.
I would really is it too late? Let's put a video board up there.
They're very expensive. I don't think the video board that big outdoor comes cheap.
No.
In this weather?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to burn another 100 million, Dino, you could probably do that. It's crazy what those things cost. That's why the sphere is the only sphere. I want to make a building, but the outside of it is all TVs. That's going to cost a lot.
Just a strip. Just a strip.
It's going to look like the Flames. Don't be disappointed. The freaking Edmonton one they love. It looks like a toilet
bitching about the new arena, Dean.
Why are you whining already?
Look at him. Hate this place. Why do we need it?
Fucking dump.
Speaking of Pike and Pike bombs, let's get to something that he tweeted about. Because, you got to stay up to speed with what the hell's happening. You got the new rink, but what about some of the old, well, how about this? The old Yves Belanger mask right near the old Ticketmaster and TELUS Club entrance. That's a coming down, and it's going to go right back up in the Flames team store. One of the cool things that made the Saddledome unique. I like that. The rest of it, they can definitely implode.
Will they pressure washer all the bird shit off of it first?
They will.
Or?
Yeah, I think they'll give that a fresh coat of water, soap, and then maybe even paint.
Give that a scrub.
Yeah, there's some. Did the floodwaters get to the bottom of that mask in 2013?
It is pretty cool. I mean, it is pretty cool. That'd be the other thing. What will you keep from the dome? What is salvageable from the dome that maybe has some sentimental value that you would want to take with you to the new place? All right, so the mask is
my list's done.
Somewhere.
It's that mask.
Yeah.
Not the elevator.
No, that elevator, that should have been imploded years ago.
The fact it's still in use is...
In use is also strong. There's a lot of times it's not.
Yeah.
What about the Forever Aflame banners?
They'll
Those
bring the
are gonna
banners
go, right?
over. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Now, they will have a new, what do they call it? A power board, energy board, the new screens hanging. But that won't be the one going to the new building, although I'm sure they can repurpose some of that. Pike with more details here. A lot of the stuff in the dome is technically load bearing at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Load bearing.
There's a joke in there, Dean. Don't go there.
Yeah.
So anyway, congrats to everyone involved on getting the Flames out of the oldest facility in the NHL, except Madison Square Garden, which doesn't count because it had like a $2 billion facelift.
Well, I saw they were already, they had the old, the front end loaders tearing up the concrete.
Oh, yeah.
Getting the old parking lot out of there, starting to do the old level.
I was just telling you,
around the corner.
if you got a 5-year-old boy in your life, that is like construction zone heaven. All the machines, all the diggers.
Get out there, eyeball it.
Yes.
Does that look level? Looks all right. Now, and the other thing I saw Pike was talking about, they're going to be digging way down, so that the ice surface and obviously the bowels and the event, all that's going to be below grade, which is pretty cool. I remember the first time I saw one, it was the Xcel Energy Center in Minnesota, St. Paul. And from the outside, when you're walking around, it's got the glass and you can kind of see in. It's like, there's the Jumbotron. That's street level. So everything's all the way down. So then you don't have to build the whole thing, crazy high kind of thing.
Crazy.
There you go. That's my
so crazy.
My assessment.
Crazy. Baseball, Vlad Guerrero Jr.'s on a heater, fellas. You're going to see this in the Betway Bets later. It has been
Is he still a J? I thought he was traded.
No, and in fact, this might be the winter you just give him $300 million and say, stay here, buddy. You're Canadian anyway. You were born in Montreal. This was his day yesterday in a doubleheader. Strikeout, not the best, but then just piss ropes the rest of the day. 112 off the bat. Single, home run, single, double, walk, double. 103 off the bat line out. 112 home run, double. That's a good day at the office.
In one day?
Yeah, they had 2 games yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And they were both blowouts, so lots of at-bats for guys.
Say they play 30 innings.
So that's your silver lining on the Blue Jays. Everyone else you've heard of, they've traded or is hurt, Dean. Yumi Garcia, see you later.
See ya.
Nate Pearson, the former top pitching prospect in baseball, see you later. He's a Cub. Danny Jansen, a Red Sox. And Kikuchi moving yesterday to the Houston Astros. That their biggest haul in a return. They get a right-hander they hope can be in the rotation as soon as next year.
What about Candy Maldonado? Have they moved him yet?
Might be a clubhouse attendant. I don't know exactly what his current role is. I know Raul Mondesi was done. He's said he's not feeling it anymore.
What about the Big Hurt? Is he?
I think he's got good roots in Chicago. I don't know that he's stayed north of the border. Interestingly, that's a forgotten era, by the way. The
great
Frank
era.
Thomas Blue Jay era with the angry blackbird logo. Olympics are on. Let's check in with the Canadians. How about this? The Canadians against the Aussies. We're not showing anything. You're not allowed to. We're going to die.
That's right.
Literally, we'll find where we live and kill us for showing video of the Olympics. The IOC is ruthless. First, it was guns and prostitutes in Salt Lake. Now we just can't show the video on our show. It's wild stuff. They're crooked. Nice little castles in Switzerland. We'll move on. Canada beats Australia, still unbeaten in basketball. This is going to be a fun run for the Canadians. Yes, the Americans have the dream team, but the Canadians are a legit medal threat in men's basketball, and this is a team that hadn't qualified for the Olympics since Steve Nash in Sydney of 2000. Canada basketball.
Great year.
Now, are they using drones too, or is...
I think because of like the whole roof on the building thing.
Yeah.
They can't get them through security.
Tougher to pull off.
Yeah, they might have just gone with the
Spy
cameras in the
cams.
washrooms instead. I don't know.
The outlets.
Not ideal. As for the women's rugby sevens team, they've knocked off Australia too. Aussie, suck it.
How's your house? Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
I left before that rugby sevens result came in, which is probably for the better. But yeah, that's a double walloping today. The Canadian women's rugby sevens beat Australia at rugby. That's awesome. To some baseball. Cal Quantrill is a Canadian. His father, Paul, was a relief pitcher for the Blue Jays. Remember Paul Quantrill?
Yeah, sure do.
And he was walking by, he might be available, Reese McGuire, and had this to say to Reese. Now, because Cal, of course, good Canadian boy, he'd be familiar with a lot of the going-ons of baseball players in Canada.
Today. Yeah, because at first he wasn't looking at him and got excited.
So that's Reese McGuire. He's chirping. And if we go back and read the lips, he said, you got caught jerking off in a bleeping parking lot.
You were jerking off in a parking lot, which he was.
He is not lying. And that is some elite level smack. And the Red Sox were so absolutely bowled over by that smack talk. They immediately added another catcher, and Reese is back to third on the depth chart.
Oh, dear.
Back to the minors, Reese.
You did what?
Yeah, it's true.
Breaking news.
He really likes a deal. He was outside a Dollar Mart, I believe, and he couldn't contain himself.
Yeah.
Sometimes, this gambling in the world of sports is new, Dean. It's weird because, players have social media. You're like, oh, buddy, I just needed another hit. I would have won this bet. How do players respond? You probably just ignore would be the best policy. This is Brent Rooker. You sold me yesterday. I was one leg away from 21 grand and you could only hit singles. My brother, I cannot even begin to express how much I do not care. Good work, Brent. We like that. Not going to be swayed by the wagering, Dean.
Attaboy, Brent.
Attaboy, Brent Rooker.
Brother.
Calgary FC, big victory in Vancouver on Friday. All of a sudden, fellas, look at the table. 4th spot. It's not top of the table, but Tommy's draw with Forge at home a couple weekends ago, win on the road in Vancouver. They are facing top of the table Ottawa this weekend. They leave Friday, and we may have a little Tommy content for you on Thursday.
Nice.
Next Cavs home game is the 10th of August. It is Marvel superhero game.
And I would
Saturday
be there, but I
too.
got to go to Maple Creek.
Yeah, he's busy in Maple Creek, Saskatchewan. Don't be offended, Cavs. What do you say? We do that live show for our friends at Pro Skate and then zip down to the game? Ding, ding, doubleheader. Little Pinder Saturday date day, you and I.
You dress up for the show.
You can wear matching shirts.
Right.
So,
I'll get back to you.
Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah. Love it. Calgary Surge, they had a rough start to the year. What, 2-5 out of the gate?
Yeah, they weren't doing it. Diamond.
That was the bad news. The good news is it's gotten much better. How much better? They're hosting a playoff game on Friday. How about this? A lovely turnaround. You know who they beat last week to clinch the spot, Dino?
Stinking Sea
Was
Bears.
it those
The
Sea Bears?
Stinking Sea Bears.
Sea Bears.
Love to see that. It is Friday, August 2. That's a couple days away-ish. And look at that. 7:30 at Winsport. Tickets at Ticketmaster. Jason Ribeiro and the fellas all fired up. Emails already flying this morning. Excited. You guys know we got to play? Yeah, we're on it. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
We know what you're up to.
Good luck, fellas.
Let's go, Serge. That'll be a rowdy Winsport. Like a regular season game?
Yeah.
Rowdy. Playoff game? Next level. Next level. I did want to turn the page, but we do have some dumb shit. Jack, where are we starting here? Looks like, there's a dispute at a parking light. This is probably pretty normal, Dean.
Karate chop.
Hustle.
Wow. Broker Bill, not feeling it.
Damn.
Yeah, get a video. That's right. Can you send me that? Oh, yes. Get your water bottle.
Whoa.
You have a video of that? Oh, fuck. Can you send me that?
throws the water bottle, one of those aluminum ones. Hiya!
That hurt. I don't care what anyone like.
Yeah,
That hurt.
there's yeah, that
He was
definitely
so
hurt.
mad. He did not. He was willing to sacrifice his right hand.
I don't
to
think he knew what he was
destroy.
going to do there.
No.
He kind of
When does he decide?
charged towards the vehicle and then took the leap. It's like, am I hitting the windshield? No, it's too much. If I hit, well, what do I guess the rear view
Side
mirror.
mirror.
Hi-ya!
Ha-ha.
I like that.
Have you now? You guys know MMA, right? What does that stand for again? Something martial
Mixed.
mixed
Like,
martial arts. Now,
okay.
mixed to me would lead you to believe it's open to anything, but apparently there's even more MMAs. There's an AMMA, which is armored mixed martial arts. Look at this. I had no idea we had chain link in the 1600s. Go wrong. Oh.
Didn't Bob and Doug do this in Strange Brew?
Yes.
Medieval cage fighting. There it is.
Holy
Coming
shit.
to a Nashville near you.
Well, let's go to Nashville.
Guess
I
we
mean,
gotta get to Nashville.
I'm always ready to
I'm
do that.
telling you what, if you're in Nashville and you're on a bender and your buddy shows up with tickets, you are having one hell of an evening.
Let me paint you a picture. We're at a stag. We got the that big. We're gonna do Broadway the one night. We got nothing for the afternoon. Then we got this other. We got dinner right here. Let's go to the armored mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Yes, please,
Oh!
good sir.
Yeah. You're going,
Yes, please.
whether you're into it or you're going to start getting into it there, for sure.
No, Rhett, we got some footage from the cabin. Looks like you had a bunch of fun up in Saskatchewan. I know you were. There's that one tree. It looked kind of dead, and it was impeding the view. So
Dougie hates trees.
good to see you guys tackle that project. Look at all these other trees. Look pretty lush.
Yeah,
and this
it's
one's
dead.
just dead.
One. Got me.
How is your neck? I am worried about you.
Yeah, I was drinking, so
Yeah.
I see you didn't have the right safety gear. That's a reminder to you kids out there.
needed a harness.
Now, the good news was you were feeling good enough the next day to take the shoveler on a tube ride, which is awesome because you know how much she loves tubing.
Yeah.
And it's like you're at the cabin. It's a ton of fun. You get good weather. Anyway, never seen this before.
Cal, I gotta go, Julia. We got cows.
Cow.
We got cows.
Cows. Bang.
You're not winning that one.
No, you're not.
Well, the good news is you
Can
might
I
bounce
ask
off the
why
side.
you've not piled off of that thing yet or rolled off like?
Well, you were driving, but that bad shoulder, they thought you were going to turn a little tighter to miss the cows.
Yeah, but your eyes should be open if you're on the tube. And if there is a massive animal that you're about to run into, I say you ditch.
I think for a little while, though, you'd have faith in the driver. It's like, he's not really going to
No.
go all that. Are we really going to? I guess we are. Shit.
And then it's too late, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is, by the way, coming to a Strathmore near you. Your friends at Origin are going to be doing that just without the tubes. They're just doing that on Main Street. So careful.
Cow tipping.
Running of the bulls. This is interesting. I know at your cabin, you always have to worry about bugs getting in. You know, sometimes bats will come in the chimney. You get a duck. Always weird wildlife. But I never thought Northern Saskatchewan you'd find one of these. That's crazy.
So I was just laying in my bed and I looked down to my side and there's a giant piece of snakeskin just sitting right there. So then I took a look around and took a look behind here and we have, what's that? Oh yeah, it's a giant fucking snake. Bitch, where the fuck did you come from? So I caught the shedding bastard. It's kind of cool. I think I might keep him. He was hissing at me earlier, but he hasn't been biting me yet.
Biting.
The fuck you looking at?
Anyway, Rat, good to see your boys handle that and get the rooms cleaned up.
What are
Everything
the
goes out on the internet.
yeah? What are the yellow tubes there? Is that like?
I don't know what those are. Is it
Explosives or-
batteries or those energy
Well, I'll tell you what.
drinks?
If that's me, is you look down, you see snake skin. I'm calling Derek Newman.
Is that right?
Looking to sell. Looking to get this thing on the market. Toot sweet if
I'll take
could.
less. It needs to be quick.
Yeah. Motivated seller here.
Motivated seller. Because you don't like snakes, right? That's the whole thing?
God damn it.
Because I thought I saw you at this party, but that must have been someone that looked like you.
इस वक्त हम बिहार के सिंघिया घाट में है और यहाँ भाई सांपों का मेला लगता है। कहा जाए तो नाग पंचमी के दिन जो है अनेक अनेक प्रजाति के सांप आपको देखने को मिल जाएंगे और यहाँ जो है बच्चा भाई नाग को लेकर और सभी लोग खेलते रहते हैं। चलिए एक भाई ने हमें भी जो है सर्प का दर्शन करा दिया। कभी आप लोग जो है नाग के साथ खेले कि नहीं कमेंट करेंगे और कहाँ से वीडियो देख रहे हैं जरूर बताएंगे। धन्यवाद।
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, but there's
that was also in Strathmore.
That was Snake Fest, yeah. That's
Like
right
the
before
Simpsons when they chase the snakes out.
That's right.
Yes. There you go. Didn't they have whacking sticks for the snakes? Yeah.
It's
a good episode. Here's a heinous creature from Australia. You thought you'd seen them all, Dean? Look at this asshat of a creation from Mother Nature. Stinger? Is that a face with teeth? I don't. Nope.
Australia. Can't wait to get
there.
How many batteries does that take? I think I saw that online. That's yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah,
Gotta
the
be
caption kind of gives it away, but there's old. Oh, it's too bad he dropped his cell phone. Anyway, I hope you had a good time with your buddies, right?
How much did you pay?
How much? Yeah. Before tip.
Yeah, before the impaling. That's a lot of
shit.
Outlay. Finally, Dean, I know you love soup, so I thought I'd take you to China, where I believe they're setting some sort of record for largest soup to be shared by people. Are you a soup sharer?
It is a banger, yeah.
Now, are you okay with everyone else using their chopsticks in your soup?
I'm probably gonna not.
So it's a double dip, I think. Yeah. Okay. Well,
you like soup?
I do.
Try it.
Yeah, I do.
Do you like Simon Says? That's a fun game. Remember that one when you were a kid?
Never lost.
I see a lot of people think they'd never lose. It's so easy I can do it. You just haven't played an expert yet. Watch this professional Simon Says player.
Simon says hands on hips, you're out. Simon says hands on head, Simon says hands on head, you're out. Hands up, good. Simon says hands up, hands down. Simon says hands up, you're out. I'm back to you. Simon says come here, Simon says stop. Hands up, you're out. Simon says hands on head, Simon says hands on hips, Simon says hands on head, Simon says tap the head. Simon says stop. Hands up, you're out. What is your name? Good. Simon says, what is your name? Kelsey, yeah, you're out. All right, here we go. Here we go. Give Kelsey a nice round of applause.
That's a professional Simon Says player. Jim.
Yeah, this guy's dynamite.
I would not be good at that.
No, I'm.
Yeah, I was bamboozled just watching.
My brain doesn't move that fast. Damn it.
That's what you got to do with that Kadri deal. Simon Says, fax over the contract. What? First?
Did I sign up?
God damn it.
Yeah.
Simon Says, Sean Monahan for a first. That's your Pinder Report on Tuesday, fellas.
There you go. It's Village Honda. They had the demo clear out on new vehicles arriving daily. We're not talking 2024. We're talking 2025. So you're going to be able to check out the what's new, what's hot for Honda at Village. And why not go on August 24th when it is the Show and Shine, Honda and Acura Show and Shine, with awards for Best in Show, Best in Modify, Best Classic, new for this year, the People's Choice Award. All the details. Register. Find out more. VillageHonda.com.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Love a good car show.
Show and Shine. Little Show and Shine. So what's up? Plans for the rest of what's August looking like for everyone?
Or still in July, Dean. We can't even be close to August.
Well, I mean,
Let's
it's
not
come on,
go into that because
couple
it seems depressing to me. I did look at the calendar yesterday, and I
Yeah.
don't like what's coming.
You know what I did last August is I paid the stupidity tax. Because if you don't have your kid registered for hockey by the last day of July,
Yeah.
they're going to say, "Hey, idiot, that's an extra $200-300 a kid or whatever it is." So this year, I'm definitely going to get ahead of that deadline, which falls
Absolutely
tomorrow.
Yeah, you're good at that for sure.
Shit, so I better do that before August.
Yeah, 2 kids too, right? So it's
Yeah, it was a double idiot tax.
Yeah.
To be fair,
yeah, not too.
it was
shabby.
doubly stupid to not have them registered by the end of July.
So you
Snuck
have
up on you.
Yeah. So you've half packed a house, you said. You're half packed. Is that where it's going to stop? Do you think there'll be more packing or?
We don't know.
He told me he was 80% packed. There's some packing confusion here.
Well, I haven't done any of the packing, so
Yeah.
Eyeballing it.
I'm eyeballing it. So it's in that range.
Are you are you going to be are you renting a U-Haul or are we
I
how are we-
actually texted you last week. I said, "How are you, Dean?" or something like that. I
Yeah.
think you answered. I was going to throw out a road trip question mark.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah, this
think
isn't quite the bandit run when you got a 16-foot U-Haul behind you, is
Yeah, but
it?
the Bears are playing in Buffalo in early August. If we,
Preseason, come on.
preseason.
Your Bears might be good, Dean.
he's such a Bears honk that
I
he
know.
doesn't care
Bears
if
Hawks.
it's
I was already
preseason
looking.
or
I was
not.
already looking for
Dial
a
it up.
Bears Hawks weekend coming up.
Bears Hawks, yeah, that's close.
Shit, yeah. I might be up for a thing, maybe.
You love road trips.
I do.
Bring a camera, that'd be fun.
With you, me and you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess the other part. Where are we going? Is it Calgary? Or are you moving to
Florida?
Either way, it's road trip,
Ohio?
Dean.
Where's
Either
it?
way.
Where are we going?
Lots of great deals in Florida right now.
Yeah, anything back in the
Yeah.
Everglades, just wonderful deals to be had.
Jesus. I mean, when we went on the cruise, we flew into Orlando, and then I don't know how people live there.
Did you notice the
Gross.
people with no helmets on motorcycles everywhere?
It was just.
How's the humidity?
What's above the chain of command of
AC
major?
doesn't even work. I was literally standing in a place because we'll meet here at 2:30. Standing in a I think maybe it's cooler outside. Maybe if there's a breeze outside, it'll be cooler than this air conditioned nonsense, and it wasn't. So then it was back inside. Gross, just gross.
Moist.
Moist. Yeah, not great. I was thinking because I saw when you're on social media and you're flipping stuff. It's like, hey, look what $600,000, which is a lot of money, but look what $600,000 could get you in, whoop-de-doo, Texas. It's like, holy shit, pretty nice house. Your money can now it's more to it than that, but I'm wondering if we should all move, guys. Can we move? Can we
Been
just?
saying it for years, Dean.
Can I move into Rhett's house here? That'd be serious.
Can we just get out of Marloop?
Yeah.
No, because we're stuck. They've got us trapped.
Pinder
I
loves
thought
it.
we were done. I thought we were done with the old all the construction. Beverly Hills 2.0.
I hope that the people doing this aren't doing the dome, the rink.
Saddle Dome, yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like I really,
Not been
it's gonna drag.
efficient.
So walk us through, because this has been. So we go to Marteloup in the fall of 2022,
Yeah.
and it was nice for about 8 hours, and then they
Feel
started
like-
tearing up sidewalks and drilling, like literally digging holes and filling them back up again,
Lifting power poles, putting them back in.
digging stuff. It's
I
been
don't even know what they're doing.
nonstop.
And now it's a one way, and now this road's closed, and now there's a bike lane here, and it's a lot. Well, here we are. today.
No, the renovation, the construction,
Jesus.
It's expanding.
oh God.
That's
What
half-
is going on?
So now there's no parking on either side of the street. There's one lane going by 3 lanes of construction. They did all this like 8 months ago. Are they doing
Yes.
it again? Did they get a redo assignment from the teacher? Look at this shit.
Water main break. They got to recheck.
What is happening?
Oh, buddy.
Bike lane isn't big enough.
Because here's the thing, Dean. If you can get here when the F-45 class is exiting, there's parking spots everywhere.
Yeah. So what did you just for retro? Did you just park at Chinook Mall and walk over, or how did that work?
Oh no, I biked. There's bike lanes.
Yeah, you can bike. Yeah. What are we doing in Marta Loop?
I don't know. It's not even close to being done either.
No.
This whole shit show just moves up and down every street for the next 2 years.
It's quite a racket. Whoever
it is. I was just gonna say
who's making money on it, but fuck, congrats.
Yeah, let's just
a lot of billable hours out there.
Just keep digging and filling it back up, and then re-dig. And if as soon as they ask questions or stop paying, then I guess the jig is up. But just keep on going. And that's the other. So what is the big advancement? What is the
end game?
Yeah, the luxury is. Well, before we didn't have flying cars, but now we do. Like, what is the big step forward going to be?
Yep, some helipads.
Yeah. Oh well. Nonetheless, hey, I want to tell you a little bit here about. I want to tell you about Spring Financial.
Oh yeah.
Spring Financial, unexpected expenses always show up. Your car breaks down. Your home needs repairs. Well, guess what? You can borrow money for those unexpected expenses right from your phone. You'll get an e-transfer within hours. Spring Financial offers online personal loans from $500 up to $35,000 with no stress and no branch visits ever. Join thousands of happy customers who have made Spring Financial Canada's top-rated lender. You can apply in 3 minutes now at springfinancial.ca/barn. That's springfinancial.ca/barn.
Looking for the fastest personal loan in Canada? Well, look no further. Spring Financial offers fully online personal loans with zero stress and no need for branch visits. But don't take our word for it.
Thank you. Thank you, Spring Financial.
Thank you very much.
Spring Financial is the best.
Apply today at springfinancial.ca/barn. .ca/barn. There you go. Because stuff does happen. You need to tear your sidewalk up at a moment's notice. You might need some financial.
They didn't do it right the first. They got to tear it up again.
Yeah. Coming up on, it's you talk about saving the date.
It's coming up quick, man.
What are we? The 10th?
Yeah. Big day, the 10th.
Saturday, August 10th, we are going to be at the brand new location of Pro Skate. 1972. So, I mean, it's been around a couple of years. Professional skate service. They've been doing it, and nobody's been doing it better in the city of Calgary. They have the expert service. They have the highest end quality. If quality and expertise matters, then this is the place to go. And they've been located in Marta Loop, and it's weird leaving, going to a new location.
They smarter than us again. People smarter than us.
Yeah, maybe. New location on 42nd Ave Southeast. And everything that you've come to know about the last place is going top of the line gear. All of the staff is going with them. And they're expanding, getting into things like ringette, referee gear, roller and inline hockey, lifestyle apparel, all the names, Bauer, CCM, True, Bryans, Vaughn, Warrior, you name it, it's there. It's the best of the best. And the grand opening of the new location, Saturday, August 10th, they're going to have prizes and giveaways and a little charity barbecue kind of deal. And Barn Burner doing a show live on location. That's right.
You and I.
So we'll be there talking about snake skins and Kadri cap hits, I guess is what that... if you've ever wanted to see it in person, get ready.
I would advise being there early. I know they have some door crasher giveaway prizes as well. It's going to be a big day. Now, Pro Skate is already open, but that's their grand opening, and we're talking all the reps are going to be there, all kinds of huge giveaways, prizes, raffles, and deals. So we'll see you there on Saturday, August 10.
And that is the kind of the cool thing. Like you say, the reps are there. So you go to professional skate, you go to Pro Skate to find out, you talk to people who know exactly what's going on. There's even a step up. It's like, hey, Johnny Bauer, or not Johnny Bauer, passed away. Mr. Bauer, what about these? What about the whip? What about the flex on this stick? What about the what kind of steel have we got on these skates? What's the mold of the boot? They're going to be there to answer those questions. Those are your questions, right, Rhett? When you got your kid, what kind of a boot mold have we got here for
molding
for Junior? Yeah.
How do you get rid of this mold is what I would ask.
Yeah.
Can you help me pack up my house? You want to go on a road trip? It's not really what we're here for, Mr. Warner.
Big deodorizers?
It's not really what we're doing. PSSCalgary.com with social media. and find out everything. But like you say, open. But by all means, be there on the 10th for the big. It's their big whoop-de-doo on the 10th with professional skate.
Can't wait to be there.
That's right. Also, I don't know if you saw the email, our nationgear.ca, where you can buy the shirts and hats and stuff like that. It's the out-of-office sale. It's on now, 20% off site-wide. There are some exclusions, but 20% off your hats and your shirts, your Nation gear, and free shipping on orders over $200. So a chance for you to, if you want that barn burner hoodie or t-shirt or whatever else is going on there, check it out, nationgear.ca. Limited time. The out-of-office sale, 20% off site-wide. Haven't been there in a while to see what's going on, but I have been thinking. It's been churning away
of
some merch that we can fire out come hockey season, come fall. Some new stuff. Because people ask, hey, how do we get, what do we got? How do you get the thing that you're wearing there? How do we get the Rhett Warner mustache? Are those available online?
Yeah,
well,
should get a hat.
Yeah.
The Boomer Man thong is very popular in the comments every day. I don't know what
I saw that. Yeah.
Every day. People want the thong. Barn burner thong.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Minion socks, that'd be a move too.
Yeah. A couple of comments coming in before we head out here. Is there any PTO we should invite?
Oliver Shillington, would you like to try out for the
I think it's still July.
Yeah.
It's still July.
It is July.
I would lean offer sheet before PTO. Come on, let's go. Screw the Oilers. Come on, please.
Yeah, if you're going to spice up the summer, it's not going to be
not
a
a PTO.
PTO.
Yeah, that's September business.
Yeah, that's right before camp.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. This one here, bashful. Pinder, if I'm going to go get a haircut, how would I describe yours to the hairdresser? What would you call that?
Erratic.
Could I get the trailer trash?
My wife calls it fucking horrible. It's
Is there a picture online? Is that at nationgear.ca where people could take a screen grab and then take
Rocking
that
the
to
mullet.
the hairdresser? Yeah.
Because we went to Mullet Arena.
Yeah. And
months
it's
ago.
I like the fade is there from the
I got
beard
fade this
up.
time.
Yeah, it's good.
That's the only place I'm super gray, so perfect place to fade.
Nice.
Well played.
And Jamie, just joined, not gonna lie. It's nice seeing all the guys of the podcast that once missed y'all. My work days aren't the same without the show.
Well, don't work too hard in the summer.
Yeah,
and then we'll see you in the fall when you should really be back at work.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Do some Betway bets, and we'll let you get on with I think it's Tuesday.
Yeah, I got to get home and watch the Olympics.
It's getting late in Paris. We better wrap this thing up.
I've gone probably the last 4 or 5 times. Maybe I'll see what's going on with the Olympics, and it's commercials. It's like commercial.
Same sex commercials. Yeah.
I'm out. 'Cause that's what you like about the Olympics. Like there's always something on.
What they used to do is you had all these channels. They'll be showing different stuff, but now they're just running the same broadcast on all these different channels.
Yeah.
That said, that Summer McIntosh, what a superstar. 17 years old. World record this year. Gold already. Women's rugby team looks good. Men's basketball looks good. We got 100 grass and 200 medal threat.
Women's soccer's one.
Big win,
Soccer.
yeah.
Bit of controversy.
A little bit of a lot of controversy.
Maybe.
Got a judo gold. Be messing with us.
Take that.
Yeah, what happened there?
Just won the gold. Was someone?
Yeah, it was like by default, or did they even do it at the end? It was.
Yeah, don't be cheating against us.
That's new though, right? Cheating in the Olympics.
Yes, very new. Yeah, especially with
'cause I've
Canada, we would never have done anything.
You don't
like
hear about
we
that
never
kind
have
of
a guy
stuff.
whose eyeballs are beat red because he's taken so many
It's
horse
the
trainings.
purity of sport and
Yeah.
humanity, Dean.
That's right. Yeah.
From the top down. From the head of the IOC all the way down. It's the
very
purity
pure.
Yes.
and goodness of humanity.
These amateur athletes, we can't pay them. It would ruin the sports. So we'll have to keep these billions of dollars for our temples in Switzerland.
Betway. With Betway, you can get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. Create a new account, scan that QR code on the screen, redeem your bonus, place a bet, no minimum amount required. And if that bet happens to lose, you'll get a refund of up to $200. You can then use that to go back in and bet on your favorite sports. Now, this offer only available outside of Ontario, so don't even bother trying. You dirty, dirty birds out in
Milton.
Ontario. Let's take a look at the Pinder Bets of the day for Betway.
Yesterday, doubleheader in Baltimore. The Jays used 9 pitchers yesterday in the split. Baltimore 7. They should have the fresher bullpen. It is Bassett against Burns. Pretty good starting pitching matchup, but I'll take the Orioles -2.5. That plays +140. Vladdy's red hot, though, boys. Home runs in 7 of his last 11 games. Wow. Remember, like a month ago, you're like, he's at 6, and we all laughed. He's at 20 now. He's on a bleeping heater. And a home run today, +550. We're going to ride the hot hand air. That's our Betway Bets of the day.
There you go. Get the Betway app. Get it on your phone. Get it on your laptop. Get it on your tablet. Get it on your desktop. But whatever you do, just get that Betway app and bet the responsible way with Betway. Do we know what's happening Thursday? We're back on Thursday. We're doing Tuesday, Thursday shows. We're doing some interviews. We're doing some stuff that's a little bit out of the norm.
Guest coming in on Friday.
What?
That's a secret one. We can't tell you what that
Is it a
is.
secret?
We'll see that in August sometime.
All right. All right. So the show will be back on Thursday.
Now, where
live?
are you?
Do we know what's going on?
Thursday.
I'm out of town.
All right. That means he's leaving his house. I can't moan about it. I've been asking for all winter for him to get out of his house.
That all the time.
Oh, it's the new me. I don't. Winter time, you got to hunker down. Got to really hunker down. You know. Summertime, I may even go to. I mean, not Marble Loop, obviously, but I may leave the house once in a while.
Good. Happy for you, dude. You want another cruise? You're cruising again?
No, you know what? The Friday, we'll see you out at Origin. We'll see you in Strathmore Friday night. You can get tickets, originbrewing.ca. You'll have the details there. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, we've got some tickets to give away. 4 pair, I believe is what we got.
Yes.
We got 8 tickets, so we'll call it 4 pair. Go to Instagram, tag Origin, tag us, the Barn Burner account, and throw somebody in there that you would take with you to the big event coming up on Friday night, and you could be a winner. 60 Spruce Park Drive, Strathmore, Alberta. You got to be 18 to be in there, and we'll be there firing out Barn Burner Blondes. Some Sutters will be there doing the 6 Sutter Shooters, and then, of course, the homegrowns and the IPAs and the Mexican lager and everything that we've come to love about Origin. It'll be there, plenty on Friday night.
They got a new berry sour.
Really?
If I don't have a ticket, can you get me on a list? Do I need a ticket?
We are giving away 3 pairs of 2 to Origin on Friday night.
That was last year.
Look at this.
Oh, fresh Yardine.
Look at that, eh? I'm so happy. Having a Mexican lager there with my buddy Mike McGowan.
Mike's got some white teeth.
He was happier than I was, obviously. He was so happy to be.
Nah, you're pretty happy there, dude.
I was pretty happy. Yeah, it was a good night. That was early.
Yeah, that tent looks very fresh.
It was packed. It's
Pedro,
a party.
Can you get me a special rate on a room out there? Like,
you know, I've been. You've been to the tap room out there. We could probably just get a sleeping bag in a little corner for you.
there's a couch.
There's that boardroom there.
There's a boardroom there. You can crawl underneath there. Yeah. I know this. The Hiltons will take good care of you, Rhett.
They always do.
Yeah, they will take good care of you. So yeah, we will see you out in Strathmore on Friday night.
Love it.
Is that press a button now, you think? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See you, buddies.